welcome to Vietnam and Cambodia. So tonight I'm going to talk you through the itinerary of Hosted Holidays and also give you a few little extra ideas should the tour not be for you or it not be at the right time of year, because obviously all of the guys can put together bespoke and tailor-made itineraries as well. And Vietnam and Cambodia have got so much to offer. Hopefully once you've been, you'll get the complete Southeast Asia bug and you'll want to go again. So why travel to Vietnam and Cambodia? Well, it's huge and rich and diverse culture. This tour alone, 1 minute you're in the hustle and bustling city, the next minute you could be by the beach, you could be in the beautiful lakes, seeing the Karst mountains, or you could be in the actual mountains themselves. It really is diverse. You've got the history and the traditions. So, you know, you've got the UNESCO World Heritage Sites in Cambodia and obviously the amazing Siem Reap sites of Angkor Wat, but also you've got the history of Vietnam, the Vietnamese War, you've got the mausoleums, pagodas, Buddhas, the works. As I say, you've got the majestic religious monuments, the amazing landscape, and the people and the hospitality is just, it's second to none. The people are always smiling. The hospitality is fantastic. The tour itself with Hosted Holidays is based on 4 and 3.5 star hotels, but compared to the UK market, you'll think you're in a luxury 5-star hotel. The hotel standards over in Vietnam and Cambodia are really fantastic. They take great care. The room sizes are considerable. It really is a great place to visit. One of my favorite things about these destinations is the food. So you've got the amazing food, and along in this tour you've got a fantastic opportunity to actually go to a cooking class as well. So you get to try all the different types of food. If you're not into spicy food or you're not into you know, Asian style food, it's not a problem in these destinations. Because they're former French colonies, there is a lot of French influence still in the foods. So you can still get a good steak, you can get some amazing snails, if that's something that you're interested in. But there is a definite fusion style, so it's very easy to pick different style of foods up. So this tour itself, it is a tour which goes from Hanoi down into Siem Reap in Cambodia. It will take you to the amazing landscape of Ha Long Bay, the ancient city of Hue, the beautiful beach town of Hoi An, and then the hustling bustle city of Ho Chi Minh, otherwise known as Saigon. There's lots of things to see and do during this tour, and it really is a fantastic opportunity to really see the country. So Vietnam, as you can see in this picture, it's a long country. To get from the top of the country to the bottom takes about 33 hours on train. Now, lucky for you in this tour, most of the transportation is by flight. So from Hanoi, you would fly into the center, and the center down into Ho Chi Minh City, and the same over to into Cambodia. So it makes it super easy. As Joe said, the tour is scheduled to go out in May time, which is a fantastic time in terms of weather. It's where most of the areas are in what we call the warm season. So the temperature can be anywhere between 25 to 29 degrees. Obviously with global warming, that is going up slightly, so you may get higher temperatures. Down in the south, you'll see it's slightly going into what we call the wet season, or the green season, as I like to call it. But during that time of year, in the beginning of that season, you will see very little rain. You'll probably see half an hour, maybe an hour a day. So it really can be avoided, and it's not a problem. And normally what that will do is break up the humidity of the day and cool everywhere down. So it's fantastic for that. If you were looking at traveling at any other time, then March through to April is a fantastic time to travel. You've obviously got that green season, but that can also be a great time. If you can deal with humidity, then it's not a bad time to visit at all, because the crowds are a lot less and you can really get into the destinations without so many people. So on this tour, the first stop is Hanoi, which is the major city that most people will start. And this is a hustle and bustle of a city. It's an introduction to the culture and the history, but it's also an immersive on your senses. You can see in the picture that there's a lady on the motorbike. You will see motorbikes everywhere. one of your first initiation ceremonies, so to speak, in Hanoi is learning how to cross the road, because there's so many motorbikes. It's one of these cities you just have to walk. Otherwise, you're always going to be on one side of the road. So it really is a fantastic place. But the motorbikes are fascinating because you'll see people carrying baskets of chicken. You might see 5 people to a motorbike. You really will see a lot of things going in life on these motorbikes. So it's fantastic. And one of the things that you'll do on this tour is actually a Vespa tour for half a day around Hanoi. You'll sit on the back of a Vespa, so don't worry, you don't have to drive it. But it's a fantastic way to get around the streets, and you'll be taken to all the major highlights of Hanoi city. So you'll go to the lake, you'll go to the local farms, you'll go to the local markets. It really is a great way to see the city and to get out and about. And at the beginning of a Vespa tour, what happens is everyone's a little bit nervous. You're holding on for dear life at the back and you're thinking, what am I doing? But by the end, everybody's got their mobile phones out. There's a great team spirit and you're all taking videos and films of each other. And it's a fantastic way to see the city, as I say. Hanoi also has some fantastic nightlife. So in terms of eating and going out for a beer, it's a fantastic place. It's on a kind of crisscross system. So it's super easy to navigate your way around. And it's also really easy to wander around and you feel super safe. At the weekend, there's a fantastic night market, which stretches for about 5 streets, and you can just wander around and pick up your souvenirs. At the end, there's a great street food market, which you can eat dinner and you can have a few drinks, but it really is a great place. Just to give you an example, you know, food is a huge draw in Vietnam, and to eat there, you can eat for a meal for 2 in a mid-range restaurant for around £15 for 3 courses. So it's really good value for money, and beer is about £1, wine a little bit more expensive, or obviously you can drink the local cocktails. There are lots of places that you can eat. It's super easy to find local restaurants. All the menus will be in English as well as Vietnamese. The majority of people will speak English in the major cities. So there's no problem with languages, but also when you stay in the hotels, they'll quite often give you a business card for the hotels, so that if you do have any problems and you need to get what their version of an Uber or a taxi, you can just present them with the card and everybody knows where to go immediately. This picture in the corner is the Vespa tour that you would be doing on day 2 of the tour. So as you see, you get a guide, and it's, as I say, it's a fantastic way to see the city. Now, on day 3 of the tour, you'll move on to the exciting Ha Long Bay. This is about 3 hours out of Hanoi and is a must for most people on this tour. It's fantastic to cruise around the bay with the amazing karst mountains. If you're not doing the tour, then Ha Long Bay is also included in most itineraries. You can do Ha Long Bay for a day, you can do an overnight cruise, or you can do a 2-night cruise. It's entirely up to you. For this particular tour, that we're doing an overnight cruise, which will go from the area of Lan Ha Bay. Now, Lan Ha Bay is slightly further north, but it's a quieter part of Ha Long Bay. And the great thing about Lan Ha Bay is that there are only 30 to 40 boats a day departing from the area. The actual metropolis of Ha Long Bay itself has over 200 boats a day, so it can get super busy. Lan Ha Bay has this great opportunity that you can see less boats when you're out and about. Once on the boat, you do some various activities. You have the opportunity in the morning to do a Tai Chi course. You also will eat a lot of food from the moment you step on the boat. You will have welcome drinks. It's followed by a welcome brunch, normally a 5-course meal in the evening, followed by breakfast the next day, and then another brunch before you disembark. So there's never a chance to go hungry. The food is fantastic, and the boats are also of a great standard. All the boats have these most amazing giant windows, so you can see views at all times, whether you're in your room or whether you're on the top deck or whether you're in the dining room. You can always see the amazing views of Ha Long Bay. Whilst you're on board, you'll get taken to a local village. You'll get an opportunity to go swimming. There's also an opportunity to go kayaking. You don't have to take part in all these activities. It's as much or as little as you want whilst you're on the boat. So it's a great chance to really see the bay, and also to relax and immerse yourself in the beginning of your tour in Vietnam. The great thing about these boats as well is in the early evening, you'll have a happy hour, which is normally on top deck. So, you know, 2-for-1 drinks, 2-for-1 cocktails, all that kind of thing. And you can just sit and watch the sunset and really just take in the beautiful atmosphere. It's a fantastic place, Halong Bay, and it is on everybody who comes to Vietnam's tick list. Next, the tour will move into the center of Vietnam, into a destination, Hue. Now, this is an ancient city, so this is more about the history and culture. It's home of pagodas, temples, tombs, and the Perfume River. Whilst the tour is there, you will again have a bit of a motorbike tour. There's a lot of motorbikes involved in a Vietnamese tour, but if you don't, you know, if you're not the kind of person that likes a motorbike, it's possible for us to arrange a rickshaw or a vehicle. You know, this can be changed. It's not a problem at all, but the motorbikes are great. They're very easy to drive as well. It's one of these, you twist to go forward and you pull the brakes. So it's a bit like riding a push bike, actually. But it's, as I say, it's a fantastic way to see the cities. You'll be able to see the different canals, the pagodas, the local market. You'll go to the tombs, and be able to see some of the local handicrafts as well. This is a picture of one of the monuments on the Perfume River, and there is also in the evening the opportunity to go for a cruise along the Perfume River if that's something that you're interested. Hue's an absolutely stunning city. It's very colonial and has some great character and history involved, but it's also home of quite a lot of wellness. So if you're into massage or yoga, then there may be the opportunity to do those kind of things while you're staying there as well. Now, around 2.5 hours down the road is Hoi An, and this is one of my favorite cities in Vietnam. This can be somewhere that you would stay as a beach stay, or it can be combined in the tour as it has been done on this particular tour. From Hue to Hoi An, you will go over the most amazing Hai Van Pass, which is one of the highest peaks areas in Vietnam, and you get the most amazing views of the scenery in the area, and you just see for vast miles and miles. If any of you have seen the Top Gear program when they went to Vietnam, this is one that they went up on motorbikes, and you see these fantastic views. They also visited Hoi An, and it's where they got some suits made, and Hoi An is fantastic for that. You can get a pair of shoes made, you can get suits made, you can make lanterns. There's a lot of different shops and handicrafts in Hoi An, but also because it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, nothing is higher than the buildings that you can see in this picture. So the streets are not allowed any motorized vehicles in. So it's all cyclos and rickshaws. So you really can wander around at your leisure. And in the town itself, there's a river that goes through the middle, and then you've got 2 streets at either side. So again, very safe to have a little wander around. There's fantastic restaurants to explore in the evening as well. And it's a lovely destination to really explore. In Hoi An itself as well, there's lots of opportunities and lots of activities. During the tour in Hoi An, you have the chance to go for a cooking class at the Red Bridge. And this is a very well-known cooking school. You'll go to the market, you'll see the produce that you're buying, you'll all make food together, and then you'll eat it together family style. So it's a great chance to try and make some of the local dishes. Hoi An is famous for its food. It has some fantastic banh mi, which is the French baguette with either beef or pork inside and lots of vegetables. And they also have lots of different soups that you can try as well. So there's some great food that you can have in Hoi An. But as I say, it's also famous for its lanterns. In November, you have the Lantern Festival. If you're looking for a more relaxing tour, there's some golfing opportunities there. And then there's some lovely villages located just outside the town, which you can cycle to. You can hire a bike. There's lots of places. The hotel that you are staying at on this particular tour is, the bonus is it's located on Albang Beach. Now, Albang Beach is a lovely little metropolis just outside of the centre of Old Town Hoi An. There are lots of fantastic beach bars, restaurants that you can go and visit, and then obviously you have the great opportunity that you're right on the beach, so you can go sit and sunbathe or have a relaxation if you've got the time. So really is a great place to stay. If you had a little bit longer in Hoi An, or if you're looking at a tailor-made option, you can also go out to the Golden Bridge, which is where obviously has become a bit of an Instagram sensation. This is 2 hours just outside of Hoi An, and it's actually a Vietnamese theme park, but it has become very popular with people to have their photo taken between these two giant hands. So it's a great place to visit if you've got that little bit of extra time. Now, moving down into the south, you've got the amazing Ho Chi Minh City, which is also known as Saigon. Now, this is the hustle and bustle city. You're looking at, this is, you know, the financial city, the metropolis of Vietnam. It still contains its charm, though. It's still got a lot of French culture to it. And there is still lots of things that you can see and do. It's about an hour and a half flight from Da Nang, which is the hub that Hoi An is connected to. Now, in Ho Chi Minh City, you can have the opportunity of doing the amazing Vespa tour ride at night, which is a great opportunity, again, to whiz around the streets, try the local food, really get off the beaten track. And it's such fun to do in the evening because, as I say, you really just, you get a lot of giggles out of this. But if that's not your style, then there is plenty of war memorabilia. There's the opportunity to go up to the Chu Chi tunnels, see some of the history, and really get to understand a bit more about the Vietnamese War. There's a lot of museums in Ho Chi Minh City that you can really see, and you can really get to understand the Vietnamese war more. In Ho Chi Minh, there's like maps which show you where the Viet Cong invaded, and lots of information about the war. So if you're interested in that, it's a great place. But Ho Chi Minh City is really a destination, you know, to be able to really immerse yourself in this bustling city. On this tour with Hosted Holidays, we go for a day trip down the Mekong Delta. So we leave the hustle and bustle of the city to go into the more peaceful Mekong. Now, this is where you will see life taking a pace back. The Mekong is obviously the gateway into Cambodia. So the Mekong goes all the way from Ho Chi Minh City down into Phnom Penh. So if you had more time or you're interested in river cruising, then there's the opportunities that you can cruise down the river for 3 to 4 nights. On this particular tour, as I say, we go for a day. You will see the local cottage industries. So you will see the coconut making factories where they make everything out of coconut. You get these little sweets, you get drinks. The Vietnamese will find a way to use every tiny piece of that coconut to make something different. You'll also see the brick factories. The Mekong Delta really is a hub of industry. There's lots of different places to see. You'll see the people selling their fruit and their produce on the Mekong. So as you can see, this lady is selling her pineapples, and you'll see she is wearing the traditional conical hat. I've got one behind me, and I have to say, I challenge anyone to go to Vietnam and not come home with one of these hats. The challenge itself is how you actually fit it in your bag on the way home. They don't fit in a suitcase, so you have to either attach it to your backpack or put it on your head, basically, because they're of that shape. But they are fantastic for keeping the sun off. They are worn by all the Vietnamese people still, so they are not just a tourist thing. They are something that is used in everyday life. And on the Mekong, they're fantastic. So you can sit in the boats and you will get to wear your conical hats. You go for a boat ride down the tributaries. You will get to taste the local Mekong fish, which is fantastic. It's cooked in a particular way on a skewer that goes right through the middle of the fish. So the fish is like flat down like that, and you will see the whole fish, but it's a traditional dish on the Mekong, and it can only be found in the Mekong Delta. So it really is a great place. This is a long day tour, but it is a fantastic opportunity. As I say, you really feel like you're immersing yourself in the local culture in the Mekong Delta. You see life and you see how different it is to the bustling cities. The thing about Vietnam and Cambodia is that you're taking a step back in time. Things are modern in places, but there are still places that everything is done by hand. Everything is still very much nurtured, and the modernization of today's hustle and bustle world is taken away. So you will see the ladies in the farms, because it's particularly the ladies that do a lot of this work. You'll see them planting the rice fields. You'll see them watering with the watering cans, not electrical sprinklers. And you will see life as it would have been. I can't even think in the, in the Western world how many years ago you would see all these kind of things. But it really does, it just shows that modernization isn't everything, and that life can continue in a very simple way, and that everybody is very happy in that way. So I always find that it's a fantastic way just to really see how life could have been and how it is different. Now, just to touch on the beaches. Now, these are not included in the Hosted Holidays tour, but I understand that not everybody will be able to go on this tour. So it's a good opportunity just to show you that there is more to Vietnam than just a touring product. There is the beautiful city of Hoi An, which I mentioned earlier. As I say, there's Ao Bang Beach. There is some fantastic 5, 4, 3-star hotels located on the beach. So Hoi An can be a great destination to visit in the summer months. So if you're looking for a new destination for a summer holiday, then it's a great combination with Singapore or Hong Kong, or even other parts of Vietnam. And you can stay in Hoi An as an amazing beach destination. We also have 5 luxury villas in Hoi An as well. So you can have your own butler, you can have your own pool. So if you're looking for a bit more privacy in the post-COVID world, then this can be a great opportunity as well. Just south of Hoi An, you have Nha Trang, which is in a similar climatic zone. So you're looking, the ideal months being our summer months, so July, August, September, May, June as well in this area. And you will see the fantastic locals with their basket boats. This is an area, if you're looking for something a little bit more luxurious, if you travel to the Maldives or Seychelles and you're used to the overwater villas, then this is something that Nha Trang can offer to you. Now, one of the other beach destinations is Phu Quoc. This is more of our winter sun destination. It's in the south of Vietnam, although you can also see it from Cambodia. So Phu Quoc is an island, and it's about a 45-minute flight from Ho Chi Minh City. Because it's an island, there is a good mixture of hotels, and there's some local towns and markets, but it's mainly people who are looking for just a beach stay. Whereas Hoi An and Nha Trang, you have a mixture of the city and beach being close by, and so you have numerous activities that you can do. Phu Quoc is much more of an island-based destination. And then the final destination is Phan Thiet. Now, Phan Thiet is a 4-hour drive from Ho Chi Minh City. It doesn't have an airport at the moment. So this is if you're looking for, you don't mind a car journey, and you're looking for somewhere a little bit different. There's amazing sand dunes, so you can do some sand duning, bodyboarding along the dunes. You can also, there's some fantastic places for private picnics, beach sunset cocktails, that kind of thing. But it is a more secluded area. So again, you have a few local villages, and in Phan Thiet, you walk out of your hotels in the morning and you'll see all the local fishermen, you'll see the local fish markets and the local markets, but there's not so many places to explore outside of your resorts. So moving over to Cambodia and getting back to the tour, obviously this tour will then fly over to Siem Reap, which is the home of Angkor Wat and what most people want to visit in Cambodia. It is a similar destination to Vietnam in the fact that the roads are quite basic and the drive can take a long time. So most people will fly to the destinations. Most people, when coming to Cambodia, will see Siem Reap and Phnom Penh, or just Siem Reap, but there is more to discover. So if you're ever looking for a more enhanced Cambodia itinerary, that's something all of the team can put together for you. The seasonality is a little bit more simple in the fact that it's not split by north, south and centre. It's one climatic zone. And as you can see, again, when this tour is going out in May, you're in the warm season. So it's a fantastic time to travel. And it's just before the green season starts to kick in. So you may see 1 or 2 bits of rain a day. It is home to the amazing Angkor Wat Temple. Angkor Wat is phenomenal. It's a destination that is just full of history and monuments. And the Angkor Wat complex is actually more than just one temple that you see here. It's several. There's Banteay Sri, there's Angkor Thom and Ta Prohm Temple, which you may also know as the Tomb Raider Temple. It's the one that you can see in this picture with all the banyan trees surrounding it. And the great thing about Siem Reap is it's super easy to wander around and see it at your own leisure. On this tour, you have two nights in Siem Reap, so you'll have time to relax, but you'll also, if you want to see more of the Angkor complex, because the ticket is a 3-day tour, a 3-day ticket, you can go back and see more. It's super easy to find your way around. And the great thing about the temples, as I say, is that you can really spend as much or as little time as you're interested. If you're not a temple person, then you can listen to the history that the guides will tell you, and then you can just wander around, or you can find a nice tree to sit in and enjoy the scenery. But if you really want to immerse yourself in the temples and really go, then you can have longer at the temples too. The great thing about our tours is that the guide will give you the history, and then they will give you as much free time as you want. It's not hurried. It's very much done at your pace. So it's a great opportunity to really immerse yourself. And the fantastic thing about the temples with the Buddhas is that, again, it's a great photographic experience in the fact that you can get a picture that looks like you're touching noses with those Buddhas. And it's just the way that you stand, but it is a great memory for everybody. The Angkor temples and Siem Reap in itself is just, Siem Reap is a fantastic town. I would call it a small market town, to be honest, in the fact that it's not huge. The hotel on this tour is the Aviary, and it probably will take you about 10 minutes maximum to walk to the Aviary to the center of Siem Reap. And you walk along fairly dirt tracks, but with a small pavement, and it's super safe to just wander. You can be at the night market within 10 minutes and the bar street, and you can really explore at your own leisure as well as being at the hotel. It's really in a great location. The hotels themselves as well, this particular hotel is a fantastic 4-star. It's got a lovely pool, so you can relax as well. And, you know, after you've seen the temples, you might want a couple of hours just to relax and reflect on what you've seen. In the evening, the opportunity to go and see the most amazing Far Circus. Now, this is not your traditional show. This is tumbling, this is fast paced, this is a real great musical show, and it's an NGO run project. So all the people in the show have been former street children or have been children that have needed help, and they've learnt this craft of tumbling and acrobatics, and it really is a fantastic show to go and see. And I struggle to find anyone that doesn't find them smiling and really enjoying the pace of the show at the end. So it's not your traditional plinkety-plonk local Apsara dancers kind of thing. It's very much something to recommend. And then on the final day, you will also go up to Tonle Sap Lake. Now, Tonle Sap Lake is about an hour and a half out of Siem Reap itself. And as the rainy season comes, it grows. So you can see the picture of the floating houses. This is where the people actually live. So the houses will move as the lake grows. And on this particular tour, you will go and see the local houses. You will take a boat trip out into the lake, and you will see how life is. In the middle of the lake, you will find shops, you will find bars, there are houses on stilts to make sure that they don't get flooded. It's a completely different way of life, and you will see the villagers jumping in the water, just the children having fun. It's a great place to really see the different life. In Cambodia, life is a little bit different to Vietnam in that you're even taking a step back into pace even more. There is a slightly higher level of poverty in Cambodia. Of course, you don't see it so much in the major cities, but when you go out to somewhere like Tonle Sap Lake, you will see that people are living more off the land. They're more living as locals. There is a different style to the people out there, and you will really get to see this in these destinations. Tonle Sap Lake also has some fantastic bird life, so there's opportunities to see some wildlife out there as well. And that brings me to the end of the tour, so please do let me know if you have any questions, and we hope to welcome you soon.